Always great catching up with Bryan Battle, who's got a really awesome fight coming up here against Kevin Jousset, UFC Paris, September 28th. Bryan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you for having me to talk again. You know what I'm saying? We're about to go out there and put on another spectacular performance. So I'm excited, man.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first fight for you overseas, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, sir. It is the first fight for me overseas. My first fight outside of the United States. I almost had one in Niagara Falls, but that was right as COVID hit. So this will be a little destination fight. You know what I'm saying? But the unfortunate part about that is that this is a business trip, and the bulk of the time is going to be spent preparing for this fight. So it's dope that it's in Paris, but also number one priority is beating the shit out of Kevin Jousset. So,
yeah,
I won't be having too much fun in Paris. You know what I mean?
No, totally. Yeah, it's all business. Speaking of all business, we spoke after your last fight, that weird no contest thing with Ange Losa. And that was back in March. I imagine you wanted to fight sooner than this, or was it just, what was this ideal timing for you to come back?
Nah, man, of course I wanted. You know me.
Yeah,
man.
no, for sure. I didn't know if there was another reason. Maybe you wanted, I don't know, maybe you had an injury or something. I'm not sure. So.
Man, the reason is people don't want to fight your boy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I've already agreed to I had agreed to two fights in the time since, and it was the other end that turned the fight down. So if I have a long layoff, you can, just like you said, you can assume that I'm not the reason that there's a layoff. That
okay.
It's either I'm not getting booked, or it's because the other side is turning down the contracts.
Okay. Does that surprise you? I'm sure you experienced this in the regional scene, but to have this happen in the UFC, did that part surprise you? Because it's, usually everyone wants to fight the best.
It's frustrating. And on one hand, so I get it because, I'm not ranked. So, it's like I'm a high risk, not as high of a reward kind of fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, I'm not ranked. You know what I'm saying? I got a decently big name. I won the Ultimate Fighter and everything, but I'm a tough motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I finished most of the people I fought. You know what I'm saying? I'm big, especially in the weight division. So, I could see why a lot of people are like, well, for where he's at, because if you're gonna fight me, you might as well fight someone who's ranked, because that's like the caliber of fight you're getting. So it's frustrating, but I logistically speaking, I understand. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to fight me.
And this is a pretty big fight in the sense that Jousset, obviously a City Kickboxing guy, does that add a little bit more excitement? Because obviously there's there's people who are fans of that gym for sure.
Yeah. But I'm not fighting any of the dudes from City Kickboxing that they're fans of. You feel me? That's always the funniest thing.
Yeah.
That's always the funniest thing. It's like, just because you train with those people, like I'm not getting in there with Stylebender. I'm not getting in there with Dan Hooker. I wouldn't mind getting in there with either one of them, but that's not who I'm fighting. I'm fighting Kevin Jousset, and like you said, I'm not fighting the whole City Kickboxing gym. I'm fighting one dude out of that gym. So, I like anytime, kind of like you said, anytime someone can have something that makes people anticipate the match more, I like that. But, for me, it doesn't factor into anything. Like, you're going to get your ass whooped regardless. I don't care if you're training at AKA, City Kickboxing, Team Kill Cliff, ATT. It doesn't matter where you train at. I'm going to beat your ass no matter what. So, but, I like the fact that the fans can get invested in a little something.
Well, the fans will be invested in this fight, too, because he's a French guy. You're fighting in Paris. You've fought in other people's backyards before. You're kind of looking forward to fighting in someone's country, right?
Hell yeah. It's going to be, and, I was very fortunate. I had the chance to fight in my hometown.
That's right.
And that was an incredible experience. Especially when you do a lot of fights in the Apex, just to, be in an arena, feel that energy, but not only to feel that energy amplified, because like the people are specifically rooting for you because you're a hometown guy. So, I'm anticipating getting booed like Gabe was getting booed when he fought me in my hometown. But for me, just period, like I love the energy. I love the energy. You know what I'm saying? Like whether people are booing me, whether people are cheering me, like as long as people are making noise and giving you energy to feed off of, I love that shit. So, I'm super still. I love, and plus I also love playing the spoiler. Like as fun as it is being in your hometown and getting the job done in front of your families and friends, it's also there's some kind of sadistic satisfaction from going into someone else's town and shutting everyone else up. Being like, is this your king?
Yeah.
Is this your king? Because I just took him out. You know what I'm saying? So what does that make me? It makes me your new king. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be lit.
Now, on that note, obviously you're going to have a little bit of travel over there. Is that something you're anticipating for the weight cut? Because then obviously when you travel, you retain water. Are you going to take a little bit of a different approach to the weight cut with all the travel you got going on?
No, sir. No, sir. With this fight, it is interesting. I mean, just period. I'm coming into the prime of my career. So, like right now, I'm probably, just because I've had more time to prepare, more time to diet properly, I'm already basically at the weight I normally am at when I show up in Vegas. So,
oh, cool. Okay.
I'll probably show up, but it's like, with that being said, I'm also stronger and faster and, a little bit broader. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm a brick house. You know what I'm saying? But so the weight cut should be easier because I should be coming in lighter. But on top of that, I have more muscle, so it's like I'm just retaining more water, so it's easier to cut the water. So I'm not too concerned about that.
What about the style matchup in this fight? How are you looking at Kevin's style compared to yours? How do you look at this fight that way?
It's fun, man. I mean, he's like we're both on the bigger end of the welterweight spectrum. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he's physically fit. He looks like a sharp, quick guy. And so it's fun. It's like I like it because it's like I get to show a different side of my game that I don't normally get to show, especially at welterweight. And that is one of the things, knowing that he trains at City Kickboxing, I know, because he's also in the UFC, he's also fought shorter guys, just because that is how it is at welterweight. But I do know that, like you said, he trains with people like Dan Hooker and Stylebender. I know Carlos Olberg's at that gym. So, he has, high quality, tall people looks. So it'll be fun because, you can only take so much of what you see in film seriously on both of our ends, because we both have fought shorter guys since we've been at welterweight. Now I fought some taller guys at middleweight, but we both are gonna have to. We both got long arms. You know what I'm saying? He likes to use the jab. I like to use the jab. So, we're gonna see what it looks like. How he deals with it when he's got someone who's just as big as him. I get to show the world what I do when I get someone who's just as big as me. You know what I mean? So it's fun. I'm looking forward to it. He's a talented guy, but I'm gonna crush him.
Your corner, what will that look like in this fight? Who's gonna be who's making the trip with you to Paris?
Same corner we've been rocking with. Head coach Tom Ziegler. Then my boy Jonathan Martin, one of my training partners, and then my other training partner, my road dog, Shamik Harvey. So it's the last three guys I've been having with me. We're all going to roll out to Paris and show them how we do in America. You feel me?
Absolutely. And how's this fight playing out? How do you see it going down September 28th? What's your prediction?
Man, it's always crazy predicting these fights. I don't think it leaves the second rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a whole bunch of different things that could happen. I could see, possibilities of it ending on the ground, possibilities of it ending on the feet. I just don't see it getting past the second rounds. So
since you won the Ultimate Fighter and you're on that contract, what does your contract look like right now? Because I know it's more than 4, I think, if I'm not mistaken. What's the deal? I guess what I'm asking is what's the latest with your contract?
Oh, brother, I'm on my second contract.
Oh, you are? Okay, gotcha. So you're
Yeah, I'm on
past
my third contract.
third contract. Okay, so I was totally wrong about
Yeah.
that. Okay, fair enough. This is why I clarify these things. So you're a couple fights into that third contract then, I'm assuming?
This will be my first fight on the third contract.
Oh, so you just got a new contract. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that I haven't gotten to the end of any of my contracts, so we always re-sign early.
Well, that's a good sign.
Some
Some people don't. Some people have to run it out.
Win
Right?
fights, you finish fights. The fans love you. They're gonna keep you around. You know what I'm saying? You can't get rid of the butcher. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even started doing shit for real. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're just gonna keep on pushing, keep on climbing up. You feel me?
The top of your division, we have a new champion, Belal Muhammad, defeating Leon Edwards. What did you think of his performance?
It was stellar. You know what I'm saying? He did everything he was supposed to do. It's one of those things. It'd be easy to take stuff away from Belal and just say like Leon looked a little sluggish, which I do think he looked a little sluggish. But it's none of that matters. You know what I'm saying? Belal came out. He did what he had to do, and not even what he had to do. He came out and kind of dominated the whole fight. So, good for him. I'm happy for him. I don't know what Leon's gonna do next. I feel like that's probably a sign that he's shot now. But yeah, no, I mean, good for Belal. I'd be interested to see how long he's able to hold it for.
Well, yeah, I think, and then maybe you agree or disagree with me here. I think Shavkat's got to be next, right? There's some talk of Usman, but Usman's lost a few in a row. Shavkat's, is yet to lose a fight in the UFCs, finishing most of his opponents. That's a fight I want to see next. Are you in that same boat?
I think Shavkat deserves it. I wouldn't be mad if they gave it to Usman, but yeah, I definitely think Shavkat deserves it. And that would be an interesting matchup because that's basically Belal's determination, will, and grit versus Shavkat's physical domination, and so it'll be an interesting matchup. You know what I'm saying? They both got ways to exploit the other person, so that would be a fun fight to watch for sure.
You mentioned Leon Edwards. I think he should fight Ian Garry next, and here's why. They used to train together. There's a bit of history. I think Gary's getting closer to the title picture, so beating a former champ would sort of do it. And for Leon, you beat this guy who's yet to lose in the UFC. I think that's the fight that makes sense. And obviously, you have other guys like Sean Brady and JDM out there, but I think that's the fight to make. What do you think of that?
Yeah, man. I mean, that fight does make a lot of sense. And now granted, Leon can wrestle, so that would be interesting. I want to, if Ian fights anyone that's not me, which obviously he's not going to be fighting me anytime soon because I got to do some more climbing. I got to, get some more heads first, but, I'd be interested to see how he does against like a heavy duty grappler. You know what I'm saying? Like a heavy duty grappler. So, but I mean, that would probably be a fun fight to watch. I just feel like they'd be looking at each other for most of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be a feint fest. You know what I mean?
Do you think Colby Covington fights again? We haven't heard any news, and we're coming up to almost a year that he last fought.
I don't think he fights again, personally. I mean, like, I just don't think he wants to. I mean, the opportunity's been there. The Ian Garry fight, that's about as good as a matchup for him as he could get. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if he needs to fight. You know what I'm saying? If he's got money and other things and he doesn't need to fight, I don't see him being a title contender anymore. So, I could see him just like being like, what's the point? Why am I killing myself? Yeah. For something I don't love as much anymore. Now, I don't know him, so I can't say that, but that's just how it kind of feels from the outside.
Well, that's fair. It's totally fair. Bryan, thanks for doing this, man. Safe travels over to Paris. It's going to be a great card. September 28th, UFC Fight Night. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Yes, please follow me on Instagram, Bryan Battle 68. On Twitter, Bryan Battle 10. I'd like to shout out, obviously, my coach and all my teammates, all my coaches, James Presley at Dime, John Piper at Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu, Dan Dandy at Velocity Sports and Performance. Shout out to my family, specifically my mom and sisters have been helping me out a lot during this camp, so shout out to them. Shout out to Iridium as always. Jason House, Jacob Paraga, Simon, Ed, all the boys. You know what I'm saying? Iridium. You know, we're like that. You feel me? So. The number one agency for the number one fighter. You feel what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, thank you for having me again. You know what I'm saying? It's been a good little talk we had.